Hey, what's up? This is Hugo from Tantric. Yeah, why don't you come and check our performance out at one of these wonderful venues here on Launch. You know, I didn't even think about that, you know, because when I went down and, you know, we first got together, I definitely didn't want to be part of a Days of the New Part 2 or something like that. So I approached it, and I think collectively as a band we approached it as like, this is brand new. You know, let's wipe away everything that, you know, we've been through in the past and just kind of start over, which was kind of hard to do in itself because it's kind of hard to forget those wounds and scars and whatever. But so we approached it as a new band, we wrote everything collectively. So, you know, I wasn't really worried about that at all, you know. It was weird because I actually, they called me because pretty much we had known each other from my previous band and Days of the New. We were kind of managed by the same company indirectly, you know. It was all connected. So I kind of knew everything that was going on in their band, and we were friends, and we had played together before in separate bands. And I think it was just like, you know, the first guy that popped into their head, and it just happened to work. I mean, they never tried, you know, a different singer, or, you know, they never, you know, it was the first guy that went down there and the first guy that decided they wanted to, you know, start a band with. So it was pretty weird that way, you know. It was definitely the petri dish for like what Tantric was gonna become, you know. But you know, living together is like the easiest way to find out everything about each other. You know, I think we found out in that whole time, like, you know, which buttons not to push, but also, you know, we pretty much sang a lot together every day, and we started knowing each other as musicians, where it got to the point where, like, I'd be thinking something and he'd already be there, you know. And I think that was really good for, like, the core of the band to start off that way, you know, us being very close, and then, you know, walking out and practice with the other guys. And it was already, you know, that much easier. You know, this half was taken care of. Now I had to, you know, get the rest of everybody else into the whole groove or whatever. But, you know, I think it was a great experience. I mean, looking back, you know, we were pretty broke, you know. And, you know, I guess poverty is the mother of invention or something. Well, I think that they've definitely learned a valuable lesson, and I think that makes them smarter, you know, and kind of they know a little bit more on what to do now than they did before. Also, they're all incredible musicians, and you know, they're my friends, and we've become very close friends over the, you know, last 2.5 years and stuff. And you know, it's great just playing with people who know how to play their instrument, and they all have something to add to, you know, if somebody brings in a song, you know, the drum beat will probably be something that makes that song so cool, you know, or, you know, everybody adds their own part, and we let people who are strong doing certain things, like, you know, interviews, you know, we let them do that, and, you know, the other guys handle the money. You know, it's very, you know, kind of like we trust each other. Run it kind of like the mob or something. It's like, hey, you're in the family now. It's okay.
Well, it's probably something that I'll never be able to explain, you know, but I do know that we had you know, a unit of guys together that were there to make music, but I don't know, all of us, I guess, didn't have the same common goals when it turned out in the long run, and so that makes things hard when you get out on the road, and, you know, things get stressful sometimes. You got, you know, your schedules get hectic, and, you know, you start having to do more things, and I don't know, not everybody was prepared for that, and so most of us tried to make it through and make it happen, but unfortunately, not all of us did. So I guess, that's where me, Jesse, and Matt stuck together in the end and decided that we definitely wanted to keep making music, and so we just grabbed Hugo along the way somewhere. You know what? We got really lucky because, oddly enough, on one of the first tours, as our first band when we were out, we played in Detroit, well, like right outside of Detroit, and that's where Hugo resided from at that time. And I think the deal was like his band opened for us at one of these small bars, and just like any other show, like afterward, we partied, got drunk together, just kicked it, and we just clicked as people. I could tell he's a really sincere, nice person, whatever. So, from that time on, whenever I live in Louisville, so whenever he'd come down through Kentucky or whatever, he'd call me up, be like, "Hey man, I'm opening up for Cinderella. Come on out and see me," or vice versa. If I was in his neck of the woods, he'd always come out. So I don't know. Oddly enough, by fate or something, I don't know. When it came down to the point when we knew that we wanted to still make music, and now it was at the point of who do we get to be this front man, to be the singer or whatever. He just, for some reason, he was just the one and only person that popped out in all of our minds. There was a lot revealed in those 6 months. It was funny because the scenario was we were both just broke, so poor, man. And I mean, I'm talking like could barely eat McDonald's once. But luckily, Jesse and Matt worked at Hooters, so we had free Hooters every day. So that kept us alive. Thank you, Hooters. But we lived in a one-bedroom apartment together. I lived in this living room, and he, lived in the bedroom since he paid most of the rent since I was broke. And he worked at this bar at night, and I don't know, man. It's all kind of a fog. I would go out and bring all my friends, and we'd all drink for free, and I don't know what would happen after. Not necessarily that, but we did realize that we were both very open-minded, I guess, about music, that it didn't matter where it came from or what it sounded like. As long as it sounded good, we were ready to make anything, and we still are. If we happen to write a song that sounds like a rap song or something, but we just love it, then we'll do that. We'll that's what it'll be. But he has that open-mindedness also, and that was something that we pretty much recognized about each other. That was definitely most important, because it's hard to find people that click musically together. It's almost like finding a girlfriend that you sincerely love. Pretty much, it's like. You'll get into the writing process or whatever and find out, oh, well, you like that kind of stuff. Get out of here, whatever. But me and we really clicked really well like that. So got lucky.